Omnimon, Digivolve to Gabumon.
Hey everybody, Blandon Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. Today's a special day because I'll be featuring a franchise that is dear to my heart and something we have not showcased on this channel before, Digimon. Originally, I had a friend scheduled to come and visit and showcase this with me, but unfortunately, he was not able to make it because... holy shit, Taki mushrooms, dude!
Oh,
The heck, where'd you come from?
digital world, man.
Pull up a chair.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thanks so much for coming. This is my buddy Oliver. In my lifetime, I've never known anybody that loves Digimon more than this guy.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so I definitely grew up with Digimon Adventure as a kid. It's so great to see the anime and the franchise together as a whole keep continually growing. We've got the movies from past couple years and the release of Last Evolution recently, and even the upcoming Digimon Survive game.
I honestly, I can't believe that it's a show that's survived. So in the beginning, it kind of lived in the shadow of Pokemon. But as we were talking about that when you were visiting, it's kind of made its own pathway and branch, like you had mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, only if you grew up in the 90s, people are still going to have that Pokemon-Digimon debate. But
Yeah.
let's be honest. Pokemon is its own thing now, and so is Digimon. And Digimon has been rocking real hard the past couple years.
Yep. Getting to showcase this statue today is so exciting because Digimon's always been in like my top 10 favorite, but man, there's nothing like being able to see this statue in life, in person, to be able to see how incredible it is when a studio is able to bring a statue to life. Is that the crest of friendship?
Yeah.
Is that a Digivice?
Yep. Look, I got Gabumon too.
Look at this.
Say hi, Gabumon.
Weird. Awesome art box on this bad boy with an overall view of the statue and the crest of friendship on the side. Some standard styrofoam packaging with some Velcro straps on the top and bottom. Busting out our huge and heavy base, this comes in at number 286 out of 300 made. No special edition size plaque is included, so all we get is what's on the bottom here. Now, in order to support all the different forms that will be showcased later, this base does have a lot of weight to it. On the very front is the circular logo with the crest of friendship. Zooming in on some of the snow and mountain, you can see the details are just out of this world. Any squares or little cutouts that you see all throughout the statue will later be used to insert different parts to add to the diorama. The snow has a nice sandy texture to it as well.
To add another layer of awesomeness, included with the base, the studio sculpted in ice clusters all throughout the base made of clear resin. So on the bottom here, you can see a round magnet that's actually used to secure it to the base. Here's a closer look at two other clusters that were included. These have a little bit of coloration added, with one having a frosted blue tone and the other having a light pink and purple.
The largest ice cluster or ice crystal that's included has multiple purposes on it. So first and foremost, it's to look amazing and add to the diorama of the base. Second off, right here, you'll see this is actually a space where Metal Garurumon will later rest on that will help support him as he's in midair. As mentioned before, this crystal right here is probably one of my favorite with the pink and purple shades that they included. For the sake of building this statue correctly, we're going to have to start out by showcasing Garurumon. I have looked at, seen, and showcased so many different statues and characters, and let me tell you, Gabumon takes one of the top 3 spots with one of the most realistic, looking like it jumped right out of the show. Two things I really want to appreciate here is the clean paint job mixed with all the different blue shades included. These little holes on the back will later be used for different kind of spikier parts of his fur that were added on separately. Can't even begin to fathom how much love and dedication went into sculpting each of these pieces. Here's an example of the spiky fur sculpted separately, as well as his tail, which thankfully they sculpted all this separately because of how fragile those pieces are. There's a little groove at the bottom of this one that'll help rest and mount it to the base, and then on the very back of the tail is a wire rod which they use to sculpt all throughout the tail to make sure it is strong enough and can hold into place. I went ahead and stuck the right side spiky fur on, and I wanted you to see how I put in the left side as well as the tail.
Looking at Gabumon here, the level of detail on his fur coat is prodigious. The gradient textures, the stripes, they're breathtaking. And looking at the ears, you can see that they come off as well. It's a neat feature to this part of the figurine. And we'll see that GD put Gabumon in his sleeping pose, which goes well with those familiar with the Digimon Adventure scene, where Gabumon is next to Matt while he's playing his harmonica.
Incoming Matt with that very cool hairstyle that all of us as kids wish we had. Right on the butt is a round magnet that is similar to the one that was actually on the bottom of Gabumon. That is going to help these two attach and stay secure to the base. The hair and head sculpt were extremely well done. I love how they did the harmonica pose with him kind of closed, focused, and playing for Gabumon.
Untitled looking especially cute here with his little fur coat and the horn. Make sure not to poke yourself with this in training form.
A little magnet was also placed on his bottom that helps him mount to the base. One of the coolest little things included is the Digiegg with a little version of Omnimon inside. My gosh, could they have made him any cuter? Look at his little face. It would be very difficult to screw his sculpt up because he is kind of just a big blob, but for what it is, he looks awesome. There's no specific place where he's designated to go, so I'm going to stick him over here to the left side in a little groove on the base.
One of the things I love about Gabumon here is how well they translated him from the screen to the statue. Work of art really, and really captured his rebel look.
Indeed, this is probably one of the most complex pieces of the statue because of the outfit that Gabumon does wear. The paint job on all the different parts is very impressive. The metallic pieces kind of have a shine to them, while the leathery and jean pieces do have a dull. It was just incredible how they worked in the whole outfit, all the different paint jobs that they included. His face here is incredible. On his arm, he does have this cavity hole. Later, it will be used to add an effect on there. It'll fill it perfectly. The head did come sculpted separately, so I want to show you how that releases. It's held on by a strong magnet. The back had 5 separate pieces sculpted separate, each of the 4 wings and also his tail. Installing Gabumon, I wanted to give you a better look at how that goes. First, I have to remove the 2 spikier pieces of fur off of Garuru, and then it goes in here with that steel peg and back on with the furry spiky wing things. Here is that effect piece that I mentioned before. It's casted out of clear resin. I have to say, if it tied into a specific move or ability, that would be Gabumon's Wolf Claw. Mounted by a small rectangular magnet, it just pops right into the arm. At the very tip top of this statue is a moon. When first taking it out of the packaging, I was a bit in awe. I had no idea how this thing was powered. If you touch here, it changes the light to different tones. And after leaving it on all night one night, accidentally, I discovered that this thing is actually charged up. So there is a USB port with a charger included, and you could stick it into that end and it charges. I don't know how long it lasts for, but definitely probably a good solid 10 hours. Out of all the 3 whites, I definitely prefer the first, which is cool white, and then there's natural and warm white. This is one of 2 cloud particles that were sculpted separately. Incoming the top dog for this statue, Metal Gabumon. Right off the bat, you can see here the details spared no expense. GD did not get lazy for a moment with all the details that they included on this specific sculpt for him. Probably my one and only complaint for this statue is the tone of the blue metal for Metal Gabumon does seem a bit flat when I would imagine it being a lot shinier, similar to what we're seeing with the gold on here. The pieces sculpted separately would include the tail, which is held on with a magnet, and then both his wings and also the weapons on his shoulders. Almost forgot they did sculpt the earpieces separate as well. Overall, this is one amazing looking sculpt. There is a little piece here that we will stick the second dust particle in. Installing him onto the base will complete this statue for now. One of the perks with having a friend who's obsessed with Digimon is actually being able to borrow his collectibles to showcase and show you how they look next to the statue. This is Figuarts Metal Gabumon. For the price when these release, these are probably one of the best bangs for your buck when it comes to getting a quality collectible figure. Now this is the movie version of Omnimon or Omnimon. Really awesome looking figure. I love how Ty and Matt were included, and you can have them mount on the shoulders where he can hold on to the yellow spiky part. Extremely classic figure. I used to own the original one that didn't have a cloth cape. Man, do I miss collecting figures sometimes. This bad boy was probably one of the coolest things that he brought with him and allowed me to showcase side by side, the 15th anniversary Digivice. I absolutely love getting to see all the different black and white sprites of the characters from the game. Also included is a Gabumon variant that is color themed after him, and if you kind of look on the inscriptions on the front and back, you'll see how this one is specifically meant for him. Lastly included is a PVC statue of Omnimon or Omegamon in his merciful mode made by Bandai. Thank you so much again, Oliver, for the opportunity to be able to showcase all these cool collectibles side by side the statue so that others can see how they scale and just how it all looks together. One thing I did want to mention that if you are looking for awesome Digimon statues, please be sure to check out a link in the description. I did purchase this one directly from Games Animation Collectibles or GAC. If you are in the market to purchase this statue, please beware that this is extremely popular at this time. I think the only ones available are going to be on eBay. If you enjoyed this video or enjoy statue unboxing content, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell to be sure that you're a part of all future videos as they release. As always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out. There's something about being able to unbox this.
Mickey Mouse. I gotta get my steps in. Yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, God. There's a slide on that one. Rug burn!